to understand, Rohit, what is your perspective on the six mental health challenges that we have laid out in that form that you completed. Okay. The whole idea behind this is almost every second day we are inviting people. Today is the first time we have just one person, but we normally have five people or four people. Our maximum is like five people, and the idea is to hear from them about their perspectives on those six um, life load areas, as we call them. Okay. All right. So here is what we are going to do. We have these seven areas that we know young people are struggling with. And like I said, we want to hear from you. What does it mean to fight these issues, and what does it mean to find meaningful solutions? And we are glad. I mean, we are glad you're here. We'll start with a round of introductions, and then we'll start with introducing one area at a time. And for that area, since you're the only one, I will basically ask a question, and you will. That's your opportunity to explain what it is what it is that you think about it, so on and so forth. Okay, and we'll just go through those seven areas, and we'll close out at the end. Any questions so far? Okay, good. Um, So, like I said, I am Harsh. Um, I'm the one who's devised the original solution, and I'm the one who's also helping HumLife 360 to come up with, to understand the problems with the younger generation and devise a solution for that. And that's why I am here. Shikha, Ria, you want to go and introduce yourself?
Yeah. So hi Rohit, this is Shikha. I basically make sure that we understand what a customer or a patient needs, and that particular need is fulfilled by our Nudge friend team. So I basically make sure that that happens in a sustainable way.
Hello, my name is Ria Rebello, and I'm a nudge friend with Hum Life, and my job is to listen with empathy and be a companion.
Rohit, you want to introduce yourself? Who are you? Where you're from? What's your reason for being here? Okay, fair enough. Okay, so I'm going to start. Today I have to leave a little early, and Shikha will take over at question two or question three, I think. But I'll start with the first life load area. We don't call it a mental health problem. We prefer to think of it as life throws a load of stuff on a young person, and that load bears very heavily on them, and it's always a struggle to navigate through all of that complexity, and sometimes it is real, sometimes it is not real. So we just call it struggling with life load. We're not calling it that the young people have mental problems. So I'm going to start with the first life load area, and that is romantic relationships. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to say a statement, and that is the Hum Life 360 position about romantic relations. That is what we think is the problem about romantic relationships. And once I have made that statement, then I will ask a question, and then we are open to, we can start an open discussion on that specific question. Okay. So, uh, the Hum Life 360 position on romantic relationships is this: the younger generation is reshaping relationship dynamics coining new terms like situationship, breadcrumbing, benching, nanoship. While some embrace this shift as cool and edgy or even anti-traditional, often viewing commitment as dull, it can also lead to emotional immaturity. The result, more confusion, blurred boundaries, and growing sense of self-doubt. This is what, as a company, this is what we think is going on in romantic relationships today. The question is, the question is, do you think this is just a sign of the times? Or do you think this is an issue that leads to more chaos and life load? Interesting. Uh, Hello, Ankit. Hello, Ankit. Well, we'll give him a second to show himself. Anyway, so Rohit, I think what you said was, what I heard you say was that you think social media is one of the triggers for the creation of a lot of confusion in romantic relationships. Is that it? Hmm. Uh, is that something you have friends who've experienced that? Is that something, or is it a conclusion you've come to just by yourself? Oh, okay. Fair enough. Um, are you familiar with those terms, with that terminology? Wow. Okay. You are. Hey, Ankit, there you are. I was getting worried. What happened to Ankit? Okay. So, uh, you're familiar with the terms. Do you know any more terms that we can add to our vocabulary? Okay. बर. बर. I can say one thing with 100% guarantee की आम्ही जेव्हा लहानाचे मोठे होत होतो, आम्ही जेव्हा शाळेमध्ये कॉलेजमध्ये होतो, हे शब्द लफडे तेव्हाही करायचो, पण हे शब्द कुठून ऐकले नव्हते. ये शब्द कभी सुने नहीं थे हमने. लफड़े तो तब भी चल हुआ करते थे, है ना? But we never heard this kind of nonsense. Hey, hey, Ankit, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Ankit. I just recently completed my master's in psychology, and I'm working as a behavior therapist with neurodivergent kids.
Okay. Tell me again, how did you hear about us?
Ria had shared the
Ria
details.
shared. Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. So let me repeat that thing for Ankit and let's get his take as well. So one of the first areas we are tackling, Ankit, is called romantic relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And our position is that romantic relationships have changed in nature with the introduction of a lot more terminology, and the relationships nowadays try to go against what is traditional because they think that the traditional is boring and they want to be cool. And yes, that does give the young people today some level of independence, but it also leads to a lot of confusion. What do you think?
True. I very much agree with you. Um, in terms of romantic relationships, things are changing drastically these days. Um, what I would say, it's about awareness. अभी जितना ज्यादा जानकारी हो रहा है लोगों को चीजों के बारे में, वो उतना ज्यादा उन चीजों में इंडल्ज होते जा रहे हैं. Now the thing is that few things existed in the past, like polyamory, open relationships. These were also there in the past, and पिछले कुछ सालों के लिए, आई वुड से पिछले 50-60 साल, या मान के चलिए 100-200 साल के लिए, जब ब्रिटिशर्स इंडिया में आए थे, उसके पहले जब मुगल्स आए थे इंडिया में, ये सारी चीजों को गलत मानने लगे हम. ओके, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग वेदर इट इज राइट और रॉन्ग, आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट. द थिंग इज व्हेन we got influenced by external factors. Now that again we are reading these things, we are knowing about it, शायद कहीं ना कहीं हम ये सोच रहे कि क्यों ना हम भी ट्राई करके देखें इसमें क्या हार्म है. एंड इसके लिए आज के डेट में कई सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो पॉलीआमरी में है, जो ओपन मैरिज, ओपन रिलेशनशिप्स में है. एंड दैट, इफ दैट मेक्स सेंस टू देम, आई वुड से आई वुड रिस्पेक्ट देयर थिंग, मेरे हिसाब से.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Let's move to the next subject. Like I said, the whole objective of today's session is for us to learn different perspectives. Okay. At this moment, we are a behavior technology solution developer, but we really first want to understand if whatever we are trying to solve is a real problem. It's not something that just made up. Okay.
Yes.
So the next area is friendships. And here is our statement regarding friendships. It really hurts when so-called friends just disappear, ignore you, bully you, or avoid you. Constantly feeling taken for granted can seriously damage how you see yourself, causing self-doubt and low self-worth. And this can lead to feeling alone and devastated. The question to both of you is what I just said. If this is true, is this true? And if so, why? Uh, what has changed in the last 10 years? I'm so sorry. Before we get to that, before you get to this question, I completely missed out one uh, question from the last wala thing, which is so both of you answered gave your opinion about romantic relationships and how it affects people and so on and so forth. What I want you to do now, any one of you can go first. On a scale of 1 to 10, give us a rating for what you think is the impact of romantic relationship on a person's well-being. What do you think is the impact of the romantic relationship on that person's well-being on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being no impact and 10 being really bad impact? Eight? Okay.
I would say sex, relationships, romantic life is a huge part of a person's life, especially adults. Uh, but at the same time, I have seen many adults who are single and who are still searching for love, for a romantic relationship, but then because of various reasons, they are not able to find a romantic partner. But still, they are able to live their life in a good way. But yes, it is definitely affecting them at some point or the other. It does make them feel lonely at times, even though they have support systems, etc. So I would say it's not impossible to live without a romantic life partner, but definitely it has a huge impact, and that is why I would give it a 6.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Uh, The next life load area we are going to tackle is friendships. And let me repeat that very quickly. What we think is it really hurts when so-called friends disappear, ignore you, bully you, avoid you, and constantly feeling that you're taken for granted can damage how you see yourself, causing self-doubt and low self-worth. And this can lead to feeling alone and devastated. Is this true? क्या ये सच है? And if it is true, why is it true today? I mean, what has changed the last 10 years? Friendships were there last 10 years ago. Friendships are there today also. Why is this a crisis today? And what has changed the last 10 years about friendships? Interesting. Ankit?
सबसे पहले तो I would say people have different definitions of friend. Okay, everyone has a different definition of friendship, and what truly means कि आप जब कह रहे थे कि when your friend bullies you, when your friend ditches you, uh, just think for a while, are they your friend? क्योंकि हमें पता है बचपन से सिखाया गया है कि अगर कोई आपका क्लासमेट है तो आपका फ्रेंड है, ठीक है। हम हमारे क्लासमेट्स को भी जब घर वालों को इंट्रोड्यूस करवाते थे विशु से मेरा फ्रेंड है, इवन दो यू जस्ट नो देम यू आर एट अ, ठीक है, बातचीत होती है, but then friendship has many levels and has a proper definition for every individual. I would not call my office wala colleague uh, my friend even though I share very good time with them. Okay, my definition of friendship is very different. If someone is bullying me, if someone is not helping me at the time when I need them, they're not my friends. And that is the biggest thing I have observed. Like I have had many colleagues and I did speak to them about this friendship wala thing, that many people call their classmates friend, and when they don't help them, they feel really bad and hurt. Imagine you calling a random person on the street mom or dad, okay, random person, and that person coming and telling you you are shitty, आपको गाली देके जा रहा है. Imagine the impact that it will have on your brain, ठीक है, because you are considering them close even though they are not close to you. Same thing that we are doing, we are considering our classmates very close, we are considering our work colleagues very close even though at times they are not. हमने उनको नाम दे रखा है फ्रेंडशिप का, और जब हमको दुख होता है दे हर्ट अस, जस्ट बिकॉज हमने उनको टैग दे रखा है ना ये फ्रेंडशिप का, उस वजह से हमको ये दर्द होता है. So few things that I have observed in the past few years, the means of entertainment have changed a lot. ठीक है, हमारे पास आज के डेट में गेम्स हैं, ऑनलाइन गेम्स लाइक पबजी, फ्री फायर एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा. वी हैव वेरियस वेज बाय विच वी कैन कनेक्ट विथ मेनी पीपल. पहले के जमाने में जब तक इंटरनेट नहीं था, हम लोगों से सिर्फ मिलकर ही फ्रेंडशिप कर सकते थे, उनको जानकर समझकर. बट आज के डेट में we have lot of acquaintances, we have lot of chemical releasing in our brain because of the game and other things, okay, and there's a lot of neurological imbalance that has taken place in our brain, which has affected our many areas of our life including our love and relationship areas.
Okay. All right. Uh, so how will you rate the impact of a bad friendship on a person? Starting from 1 to 10, where 1 is there is no impact of bad friendships, and 10 is okay, bad friendships have a huge impact on a person's well-being. Yep, it's a very emotional thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 10 साल पहले भी वही बात थी और आज भी वही बात है. If that person is really a true friend, तो वाकई में you really know that person very well and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a huge rating. Ankit?
I would give it 8 because हमारे पास फिर भी हमारे acquaintances होंगे, हमारी family होगी जो हमारे support में आएंगे जब like I understand friendship is a very important part any human being, ठीक है, is a very important part, but definitely 8 I would give it for this thing that it will affect a lot to an individual, but वो 2 point बचेंगे, मतलब वो खुद एक को वापस अब पीछे ला सकता है, he can get better, और family और acquaintances भी रहेंगे उसको help करने के लिए, वापस पीछे लाने के लिए to a better state, I would say.
Wonderful. Okay. Unfortunately, today, last minute, I have an appointment at 10, and I have to leave the office and walk to a coffee shop, so I need 10 minutes to do that. So Shikha will take over the next question. Just give us a second. Shikha, are you looking at the same document I'm looking at? I've changed the name.
Validation webinar.
Yes, BU validation webinar.
Yeah.
Okay. So Shikha will ask you the next question. And no, thank you. So thank you so much for showing up, guys. I'll follow up with you personally. I'm really grateful that you guys have shown up, and not just our whole team, but I'll also follow up with you personally after the session is over. Okay. All right. Catch you later. Bye. Bye.
Okay, so moving forward now, we'll be talking about family and generational differences basically. So there have been like family disagreements with all of us at somewhere or the other. There have been times where we might have had, family disagreements. Mi- uh, Sometimes we also try to, झगड़ा कर लेते हैं घर वालों के साथ उस तरीके की चीजें तो what we define family and generational differences as family disagreements often start with parents and children wanting different things from each other. Older and younger family members sometimes clash because they have different ideas about what's important and how things should be done. We might have different perspectives and our parents might have a completely different perspective. And if these issues aren't dealt with carefulness, they can actually create bad feelings, and they may lead us to hold grudges against each other. So, there have always been generational gaps. Why is this a serious crisis situation today? What, according to you, has changed? Mhm. Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Makes sense. Ankit?
I would say education has played a huge impact. पहले लाइक अभी का जो हमारा एजुकेशन है, हमारा ये जो यंग जनरेशन है हम जो बात कर रहे हैं अभी अप्रोक्सीमेटली लाइक मैक्स 30 इयर्स तक के जो लोग हैं, आई वुड से दे आर प्रायोरिटाइजिंग देयर ओन सेल्फ, देयर ओन मेंटल हेल्थ फर्स्ट, ओके, इन जनरल, कि मैं पहले बाकी दुनिया बाद में, ठीक है. राइट नाउ द जनरेशन इज विद दिस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू इसकी पहले मैं खुद को बचाऊंगा, बाद में आई विल सी द वर्ल्ड. एंड दैट इज वेयर ये जो पेरेंट चाइल्ड कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स हो रहे हैं ना, यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं, बिकॉज चिल्ड्रन आर नॉट रेडी टू नाउ. वो दबने वाले नहीं है अब ये बच्चे. अब बच्चे रिवोल्ट करने वाले हैं कि मुझे जानकारी है, मेरे पास अवेयरनेस है, मेरे पास एजुकेशन है, मुझे पता है सही और गलत क्या है. मैं नहीं झुकूंगा क्योंकि मैं गलत नहीं हूँ. आपने झेला, आपके जमाने में भी आपके साथ ऐसा हुआ. You respected them, you affected your life, mental health and everything. But now I am seeing this and I won't let this happen with me. This is a huge thing that I have observed with this generation. इसकी यही एक सबसे बड़ा फर्क है कि like this generation is all about revolution, is all about revolt. कि हम नहीं सहेंगे.
Okay. What I could understand from what Ankit has just said is that we have now basically started questioning that if we are doing this particular thing, then why we should be doing it. And is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I agree to that. And Rohit also, I think, said these almost the same thing, that education has played a huge role because now we are getting aware about things. Our parents, I completely agree to this fact also, that our parents, it's not like that okay, our parents were not aware about things or something like that, but maybe at that time things used to be like their upbringing was in a way that they used to think we are doing this thing for the society. We are not doing this thing for ourselves, we are doing this thing for the society, so even if it is hurting us, we'll do it. And our generation is not ready to do that. Yes, Ankit.
So there's this thing that हम जिसे कहते हैं ना mass ideology. तो आज हम रील्स देखते हैं, ये सारी चीजें देखते हैं. तो ये जो जनरेशन है ये भी देख रहा है कि जो पिछला जनरेशन है, जो मेरे माँ बाप हैं, वो लोगों ने कितना ज्यादा सफर किया है जस्ट बिकॉज वो दब के रहे हैं. ओके, आई एम नॉट जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट वन पर्सन, बट देन इनको ओवरऑल दिख रहा है कि पूरी जनरेशन कितनी सफर कर चुकी है. ठीक है. एंड नाउ दे आर ऑल्सो सीइंग देयर फ्रेंड्स, देयर कलीग्स वाया रील एक्सेट्रा एक्सेट्रा, दे आर लर्निंग यार ये तो नहीं कर रहा है, ये तो नहीं झेल रहा है, व्हाई शुड आई ओनली डू. ठीक है, ये लोग ऑलरेडी सफर कर चुके हैं और मुझे अब सफर नहीं करना है. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो वन थिंग दैट दिस internet and all this thing is playing a huge role in this whole area.
Agreed. So on a scale of 1 to 10, like 10 being the worst, what will be your rating for the impact of this issue on a person's well-being? Yeah. Okay, Ankit.
This really depends हम कौन से एज पर हैं ये जब हो रहा है. Okay, if you are almost an adult, if you are legally, then I would say 6, 7 max 7 तक ये जाएगा इशू. उसके ऊपर नहीं जाएगा, बिकॉज आई सी मेनी इंडिविजुअल्स टुडे जिनको फैमिली सपोर्ट नहीं है, जिनको मतलब फैमिली और उनके बीच में बहुत बड़ा वाला कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है, because of which they have to separate and they are living alone, or they have shifted with the chosen family because of n number of reasons. And now this has affected their well-being for a short period of time, maybe 2 years or 3 years, but now they're also healing. Okay, just because they are your parents does not mean that you will suffocate and live there. If you're suffocating, आप उधर घुट घुट के जी रहे हो, that does not mean that you're living your life, and you need to get out of it. And yes, many people are in a very healthy state after they move out of their houses, after they move out of their family. So that is why I would say 7, because it will definitely have impact for a short term, but not a long term thing.
Okay. I had one additional question over here. Like, do you guys think that gender also plays a role? Like, if the person is a guy, then the impact is different, and if a person is a female, then the impact is different. Do you have any thoughts on that? Mhm. Okay.
I would say yes, gender does play a role over here. कहीं ना कहीं हमें सिखाया गया है कि if you are feminine,
Mhm.
ठीक है, if you are someone who associates with like who is a female, तो वो लोग वो ऐसा सिखाया जाता है कि you're a female तो तुमको थोड़ा सहना सीखना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा
Mhm.
दब के रहना सीखना पड़ेगा। तो कहीं ना कहीं वो उनके पर्सनालिटी का हिस्सा बन जाता है, इवन सिंस लाइक बचपन से थोड़ा हिस्सा बन जाता है। तो जब कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है तो ये चीज उनको शायद अलग वे में अफेक्ट करता है एज कम्पेयर टू मेल्स, बट दिस इज अ वेरी, आई डोंट नो हाउ डू आई आंसर दिस, लाइक कि हर पर्सन के लिए डिफरेंट होगा, बिकॉज आज जो जनरेशन है इस वक्त,
Mhm.
कि आज ऐसी भी लड़कियां हैं जो अपने आप को लड़के से कम नहीं मानती और वो गलत भी नहीं है, बट एट द सेम टाइम आज के डेट में ऐसी भी लड़कियां हैं जो खुद को लड़कों से थोड़ा कम मानती हैं और उस बिलीफ के साथ चल रही हैं। ठीक है, सो ऐसे सिचुएशंस में इट डज चेंज। सो यस, आई वुड से यस, जेंडर हैज अ इम्पैक्ट, बट कहाँ पे कम कहाँ पे ज्यादा, वो फर्क पड़ेगा। लाइक आई वुडंट से कि कहाँ पे ज्यादा होगा, because there are trans individuals as well, there are non-binary people as well, and we
Yeah.
can't say कि कहाँ पे क्या जाएगा।
Yeah. Agreed. Okay, so moving on to the occupational challenges, we all have, had at certain point of time, we all have had like burnouts. So it stems from a combination of stressors which impact the employees. Okay, overwhelming workloads are there, which triggers stress, and there is a feeling of being stretched like too thin. Long hours, it disrupts the balance between work and the personal life, which leads to extreme exhaustion. So do you think that burnout is due to stress, extra work, or struggle? Work life balance, basically. What do you think about this thing? Was I able to explain this thing? So what? Hmm. Mhm. Mhm. Okay. Rohit has actually made a point, like a very interesting point, that it is self-made also. But don't you think that from our childhood only, we all have this habit of procrastinating things? Like exam से पहले 10 दिन तक नहीं पढ़ना और exam के 2 दिन पहले पढ़ना start करना. So I think we all are doing this thing from the like very beginning of our school years and everything. Ankit?
वेल बर्नआउट का जो रीजंस आपने जो तीनों चीजें कहा, इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल थ्री, आई वुड से,
Mhm.
as well as there are many mental health challenges which also leads to burnout wala situation. It also leads to procrastination, especially with the employees का scenario. So ये सारा चीजों का कॉम्बिनेशन होगा बर्नआउट होना,
Mhm.
not just one factor, but then there would be multiple factors that would lead to this burnout situation. What if that person is already going through depression? ठीक है, he is diagnosed with depression, he is in therapy, but still वो अभी तक उस लेवल पे नहीं पहुंचा कि वो बेटर फील कर रहा है, और काम तो उसको करना ही है। ठीक है, इफ ही डज नॉट वर्क, घर पे जो जिम्मेदारी है वो तो है ही, बट दिस डिप्रेशन का जो थिंग है, जो सिम्टम्स है, दैट विल आल्सो लीड टू द बर्नआउट का सिचुएशन। सो देयर आर मेनी फैक्टर्स दैट वुड लीड टू बर्नआउट।
I agree. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, what is your rating for the impact of this issue on a person's well-being? Mhm. Okay.
Um, if it is, if we are talking about short-term well-being,
Mhm.
definitely around 7 to 8.
Okay.
ठीक है. Maybe 9 as well, like depending upon the personality of the person. वो किस level पे चीजें झेल पा रहे हैं. But if it is about long-term well-being, then definitely अगर burnout है तो it would be there for a short time, like maybe 5K level पे I would rate it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now we'll move forward with physical and health concerns. Uh, the concerns which are, about physical and health issues, they basically affect anyone's mental health, mental well-being as well. Body image struggles are there. Obsessive preoccupation with appearances often relate with, eating disorders are there, leading to severe emotional distress. Okay, and people who experience emotional trauma, anxiety, and psychological stress. There are, mental. It also affects mental well-being of any individual. So, why does physical appearance basically lead to mental crisis today? What is the reason behind that, and why, according to you, this thing is happening? Mhm. Mhm. Okay, so basically, what I could understand is that we could not understand the difference between the real, uh, what is realistic and what is there on the reels. Correct? Yeah. Ankit?
I would say जो body image issues की हम बात कर रहे हैं, that has existed for a very 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 long years, like 500-700 साल पहले, उससे भी पहले से body image issues exist करते आए हैं और आज भी exist कर रहे हैं. इसका सबसे बड़ा कारण है हमारा समाज, हमारे आसपास के लोग, I would say, because हम जैसे भी हैं, जो भी हैं, हमको उसके लिए हमारे आसपास लोग आते हैं मजाक उड़ाने के लिए. ठीक है. एंड इस चीज का मेंशन हमारे कई सारे पुराने ऐतिहासिक बुक गानों में भी है. आई कम फ्रॉम अ प्लेस व्हिच इज वेरी रिच इन कल्चर, बट हमारे यहाँ पे लोगों का मजाक उड़ाना इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द कल्चर, आई वुड से. ओके, लाइक व्हाटएवर यू आर डस्की, यू आर चबी, यू आर थिन, व्हाटएवर यू आर, यू ईट 2 रोटी, यू ईट 5 रोटीज, आपको हर छोटी चीज के लिए आपका मजाक उड़ाया जाएगा. एंड if I am doing that frequently to you, it is a very common thing that it will affect your mental health, and that will make you want to work around it. ठीक है. So I would say this has always been existed, and this is how society has been for past few hundred of years. कि लोगों के पास मजाक करने का, उपहास का कोई जरिया नहीं था, तो उन्होंने लोगों का ही मजाक उड़ाना शुरू कर दिया. And that is how it started. At least now we are moving towards the healing area, I would say. At least reels के जरिए, बाकी चीजों के जरिए, people are talking about body positivity, और थोड़ी सी तो जानकारी हो रही है लोगों में. I'm not saying there's a huge knowledge and awareness around it, but yes, there is a little awareness कि आप ये कर सकते हो, ये भी normal है, natural है. because I see many people का reels, okay, there are many reels जिनके नीचे ऐसे ऐसे comments आते हैं जो हम देख भी नहीं सकते, but then yet there are some replies that makes them strong. So आज के डेट में at least there is someone to support such incidences, but पहले तो उपहास ही एक जरिया था. आज भी मुझे याद है हमारे यहाँ पे एक फोक सॉन्ग है जहाँ पे राम जी जब आए थे बारात लेकर, तो उनके स्किन कलर तक के लिए उनका मजाक उड़ाया गया है. ओ यू आर डस्की, ओ योर टीचर इज सो थिन बट देन ही इज ईटिंग फुल प्लेट भर के खा रहे, इतने पतले हैं वो.
No, I agree to what you say that no, the thing is that it's not just about mocking. It's sometimes like people have normalized this thing so easily that if a person is fat, so they'll call that person moti ya mota whatever, and they'll call it like कि मैंने तो लाड़ में बोला है, मैंने तो प्यार से बोला है, in a fun way I've said this thing. But actually, I understand what you say that these things over a period of time, see, if a person is dealing with acne, that person knows that he or she has acne. Why are you pinpointing that thing? So yeah, I agree to that. Also, like this was something we talked about, like a body image, and let's talk about when we have like something like chronic health issues are there. Okay, a girl is there who is dealing with PCOS for a really long time, or maybe there is a guy who is dealing with any health concern, maybe fatty liver or anything. Okay, and that thing is like chronic, not acute. 5-10 दिन में ठीक होने वाली चीजों का कोई इतना स्ट्रेस नहीं लेता है. But yes, if that thing is chronic, so how does that thing impact our mental health? Do you think that there is some sort of relation between that, and if there is, that how will that affect? Okay.
I would say this has a huge impact on an individual's life. If it is something that would last with them for a very long time or almost a lifetime. जैसे for example अगर मैं vitiligo ही ले लूँ, ठीक है? A person is living with vitiligo, so that will affect their mental health for a very long time and almost for the lifetime, because हमारे आसपास हमें यही सिखाया गया है बचपन से that if you are थोड़ा सा भी here and there in the normal probability curve, तो आप गलत हो भाई. आप में कुछ तो तकलीफ है and you're not, you can't be a part of us, and हम आपको बार बार पिन पॉइंट करेंगे. Okay, and that does affect their overall journey in terms of accepting themselves, and then also by the way they would work, because if I talk about other issues like जैसे fibromyalgia है, ठीक है, जिनमें जिसमें मसल वीकनेसेस होते हैं लोगों को, they can't work for a long time, that would affect their life का everything lifestyle. वो उनको थोड़ा सा भी कुछ करना होगा तो उनको बार बार सोचना पड़ेगा. Also these things affect your brain in some way. There are neurobiological issues which will again lead to mental health challenges and your overall well-being. So
Yeah, absolutely. uh, I agree to what both of you guys said, that these both of like, even if we talk about the body image, or even if we talk about the chronic health issues for which the person is dealing, maybe for the lifetime or maybe for a very short time, they definitely develop mental issues. But what I could understand from you guys, that it's not the issue which is affecting us, like the chronic issue, chronic health issue, or maybe the body. कोई अगर if that person is dealing with acne, or that person is dealing with vitiligo, or the person is dealing with maybe CKD only. Young generation is also developing CKD. They are developing heart issues or something like that. The main issue is not that big, but people pointing it out and calling it out, that creates more mental pressure. Is that correct? Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your rating for the impact of this issue on a person's, like on an individual's well being? Okay. Mhm. Okay. And
I would give it 7.
okay. Uh, okay. Let's talk about personal identity crisis now. That many young individuals today, they often feel lost and uncertain about their future. They are struggling with lack of confidence in their abilities and decisions. This identity crisis, where they question who they are and where they belong in the world, leads to a sense of aimlessness. So, is this true? And where do you think that it manifests itself? Agreed. Ankit?
Um, I would say जो crisis like situation है about existence etc. Uh, is because of various issues combined.
Mhm.
Failure is one of the reason I would say. Like when you fail at something, you start questioning about yourself. At the same time, आपका जो ईगो स्ट्रेंथ है वो कैसा है उस पे बहुत ज्यादा डिपेंड करता है, ठीक है। फॉर पीपल विद गुड ईगो स्ट्रेंथ उनको ये सारे इश्यूज नहीं आने वाले हैं
Mhm.
बिकॉज दे आर वेरी रेजिलियंट। एट द सेम टाइम पीपल विद इश्यूज लाइक डिप्रेशन एक्सेट्रा उनको ये सारी चीजें बहुत ज्यादा सताने वाली है। इवन इफ समवन इज नॉट having depression but then their ego strength is not that good, this
Okay.
is gonna be in their life at many point of time. They will question about their existence छोटे छोटे चीजों पे भी। मे बी मेरे लिए वो छोटा हो बट उनके लिए वो काफी बड़ा हो सकता है, that can have a huge impact on them.
Yeah. Okay. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, what will be your rating for like the impact of this personal identity crisis issue on an individual's well being? Okay.
ये जो पर्सनल क्राइसिस सिचुएशन है ये काफी ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट करता है एक इंडिविजुअल को। एट टाइम्स दिस आल्सो लीड टू सर्टेन फिजिकल सिम्टम्स, जब बहुत ज्यादा द पर्सन इज इन द थॉट palpitation and tremors वगैरह भी कई सारे लोग एक्सपीरियंस करते हैं when they are going through this thing, okay, for a even though if it lasts for a short period, अगर ये 10 दिन के का भी पीरियड है तो भी it affects them a lot, but then definitely they can come out of it. So I would say 7 would be the point that I would give it.
Okay, so let's move on to the last topic, which is like affirming sexual diversity. It continues to be a significant challenge in today's society. In India, individuals with diverse sexual orientations are often denied the respect. They're denied the understanding and acceptance that every human being deserves. This lack of affirmation can emotional and psychological consequences, including rejection by family, bullying in educational settings, social marginalization is there, and increased vulnerability to anxiety, depression, and deep feeling of isolation is also there. So, at work or in in any personal or social setting, if you were paired with a person with a known diverse sexual preference, would your feeling of engaging with this person be any different than usual? Or if they were different, how would you handle that? Okay, understandable. Ankit?
इस सवाल का जवाब देने से पहले मैं आपसे एक सवाल पूछूं।
बिल्कुल।
अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ आज आके रैंडमली कि सन जो है वेस्ट से उगता है और ईस्ट में सेट होता है,
Okay.
ठीक है? और आपने बचपन से अभी तक यही पढ़ा है, ठीक है? What are the percentage or what is the chances of you agreeing to me or you accepting what I'm saying?
Okay, so what I could understand from your question is that what I have observed from my childhood, that sun rises from east and it
So,
sets down in the west. But today you are telling me that it rises from west and it's set in the east. Chances are very low that it will first depend on our relationship also. Okay. This is not about, I'm not talking about the facts. If we'll talk about the facts, that this thing will not happen, of course. But yeah, if I'll just take it as a situation, the answer would be different. If that person is like really close to me, if I have like blind faith on that person, there are chances that I might believe that person. Okay. And if a random person is coming and telling this thing to me, there are very low chances that I will believe that thing, or even put a little bit of effort also to understand that thing. So the answer would be very subjective on the person who is telling me that thing. And if that person is like maybe an acquaintance, not really close to me, and that person is also not a stranger, I know that person, there is a 50-50 chance that I might think about it, at whether this person is telling me whatever that person is telling me, is there a chance that this thing is true actually. So this answer is very subjective on the person with whom I'm dealing with.
perfect. बस यही हो रहा है आज के समाज में. So basically, there are many people who are from the queer community, जिनको समाज में जो आप एक्सेप्टेंस की बात कर रहे हैं, वर्क प्लेस कुछ एक्सेप्टेंस की बात कर रहे हैं, वो कहीं ना कहीं मिल भी रही है, कहीं ना कहीं नहीं भी मिल रही है. और ये सबसे बड़ा कारण है कि उनको बचपन से बताया गया है कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है, और कहीं ना कहीं लोगों ने सुनना ही नहीं है पहले इसके बारे में, ठीक है? और अगर सुना भी है तो ये लोगों ने सुना है कि नो, दिस इज रॉन्ग, दिस थिंग डज नॉट एक्सिस्ट, दिस इज, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. एंड दैट इज व्हाई ये जो बचपन से सुना हुआ चीज है, इनग्रेन्ड है हमारे अंदर, उसको भूलने में टाइम लगेगा लोगों को, और वो एक्सेप्ट करने को टाइम लगेगा. और इसलिए जब कोई क्लोज वाला आके कहता है या जब कोई अक्वेंटेंस आके कहता है, सो पीपल आर थिंकिंग अबाउट द क्वेयर कम्युनिटी, एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज ब्रिंगिंग द चेंज नाउ. And me myself being from the queer community, I have seen many people when I'm working. Okay, uh, जब तक उनको मेरे बारे में नहीं पता, they are very good with me.
Mhm.
But then when they come to know about it, first they're in shock because they don't know what is it, how is it.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I observed that this generation is kahin na kahin ready to understand and listen at least. But again, not everyone, because they have been taught nahi. 4 plus 4 ही 8 होता है, and there is no other way that you can make 8. There is no other way. आप 16 को 2 से divide करोगे तो 8 नहीं बनेगा, नहीं. This is wrong. So that's the only thing that the queer community is today trying to tell people. कि नहीं, if you want to make 8, there are various ways. You can add 5 plus 3 and it will be 8. You can 10 minus 2 तो भी 8 बनेगा. 16 को divide करोगे तो भी 8 बनेगा.
Correct.
And that is why ये जो acceptance वाली बात है,
Mhm.
आएगी, धीरे धीरे आएगी.
No, amazing answer actually. I completely agree to that. Yes, Riya.
Can I add something?
Yes.
I've been working with Ankit like since the internship days, the college days. The 2 years were the amazing years I've had with him. And personally, I love spending time with him. He's the most funniest and helpful person you can ever find. And if you say he's the right pick for this topic because he's working very closely with the queer community.
Mhm.
Thank you, Ankit, for coming today.
No, I agree with what Ankit also said that, and there is one thing that what I personally also believe that if a person has a certain what do we say preference, okay, that's their personal choice, okay, uh, and if I am straight, okay, and if if my friend she's a lesbian, I don't have any say in questioning that why are you like that. It's her choice to be that way. And that does not make a person less of anything. Their abilities are there. They if they are educated, that they can work as good as a straight person would do. So I don't think that these preferences makes a person less of anything, I would say. So it's I agree that these things will eventually become very normal and people will actually start accepting these things very normally, like naturally. These things should not come as a made up thing, if I'm able to put that in a correct way. So on a scale of 1 to 10, like 10 being the worst, what is your rating for the impact of this issue on the well-being of the person with diverse sexual preference? Like, does, of course, these things do affect, like I also personally feel that a person who has a specific, sexual preference, and the society is not accepting that person, there is some sort of impact, and there is a huge impact, I feel that, because of course if the society is not accepting you in a normalized way, you of course feel that what is wrong with me, wo feeling aa hi jati hai, and it does affect. So according to you, what is the rating? Okay, Ankit.
I would say 6, because आज queer community ने खुद की community बना ली है.
Mhm.
At the, like, they have their chosen family, they have their खुद का offices, there are places where they are welcomed with everything.
Mhm.
So कहीं ना कहीं, yes, this does impact them a lot. They are
Yeah.
welcoming a lot, but yes, there are many people who are in the closet and they're working good in their office. Yeah, and in society as well, there are so many people who are married, etc., etc. But then they're living a decent life in general. So it does affect. So I would give it a 6.
Okay. Great. So we have covered like all the 7 life load areas, I would say. First of all, it was like I've got amazing answers from both of you. Both of you gave your views like in a very detailed way. So I'm very thankful to that. Before closing the session, is there anything you guys would like to add on? We have missed something or anything of that sort? Any feedback? Any questions? Anything? Mhm. Okay. Ankit, anything?
Maybe like just saying about person's well-being in general. I understand. जैसे इन्होंने financial चीजें add की, that is very important to understand the overall well-being. At the same time, I feel you should be talking about substance use as well, and sexual health or sexual well-being as well, because that is a huge part of person's life. And one thing that I have observed कि जो Gen Alpha आ रहा है, ये जो Gen Alpha है, और जो late Gen Zs हैं, जो भी recently born हुए हैं, वो लोग काफी ज्यादा सब्सटेंस यूज में इस वक्त ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं. So that would impact in a huge way to their well-being, and as well as this sexual health as well. So maybe you can try to cover these areas in future if you can.
Okay. We will definitely try to cover all these topics as well. So once this session will get over now, both of you guys will be getting a feedback survey form. Just try to fill that thing, and you know, once you will fill that thing, we will be sending you out your Myntra gift cards also within a week. And if in case you didn't receive it in a week, just don't mind checking it back with us. Okay. So you are on mute.
That's really important.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you so much. It was really an amazing session, and we'll get back in touch with you whenever something like this would happen, or anything you guys want to discuss, you can always reach back to us. There is no problem onto that. I will be sharing the details also. And there is one more question. We will be preparing what do we say? A report out of the sessions. We are having like multiple sessions. So this was our third session. We'll be creating a proper report out of it. So would you guys like to have a copy of that once the sessions will be over?
Okay, you have right now, you're in a money market.
Okay. So we will be sharing those reports
Money on
also.
balance and
Keep
keep
in
it
mind.
in there. It switches you to a regular checking.
Okay then. Thank you so much. Bye bye.